When Anand Stanley was appointed as President of Airbus Asia-Pacific in July of 2020, the aviation industry was suffering greatly due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. 4 years on, Airbus is reaping the benefits of a surge in demand for aircraft and travel in the region. It seems that Airbus has surpassed survival mode and is indeed thriving. At the 2024 Singapore Airshow, AeroTime sat down with Anand Stanley for the next installment of our Executive Spotlight series, where he shared what makes Asia-Pacific the perfect region for wide-body aircraft. He also revealed a bold forecast for aircraft demand over the next 20 years.
Good afternoon, Anand. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you for having me on AeroTime.
Now, Anand, 2 years ago, you made a forecast that in Southeast Asia, the demand for wide bodies will surge. And we've seen this happen order after order yesterday and the past few days. I'm just wondering, what are the key driving forces behind it?
Well, thank you for that question, Jean. First of all, I'm really excited that things are picking up. We can travel, we can see our loved ones and enjoy this beautiful planet. But you're absolutely right. It is really, the demand is really going up quite well. In fact, to give you more of a prediction, we're looking at another 19,000 aircraft of open demand in Asia-Pacific over the next 20 years. So that's exciting. And more importantly, about 4,000 wide bodies incrementally in this region alone. Why is that? 3 reasons. Geography. We have such diverse geography, oceans, archipelagos, and such a beautiful but large region. The second is demographics. I mean, you look at the wide bodies, they can connect regionally, like the A330neo can connect 60, 70, 80% of the world's population from any of these countries. And then you have the A350, which can connect 2 points of the planet, point to point, any 2 points on the planet. So all these are very useful. But the third reason is it's an exciting place for demographics. We have a young population, we have growing economies, we have growing GDPs. So all these put together, it's a perfect recipe for wide-body success.
It's very exciting. Yes. Now, yesterday, Starlux placed an order for 5 A350 freighters. Anand, do you see cargo being big in Southeast Asia, or is that exclusive to certain airlines only?
Cargo is always big. And cargo traditionally, again, is very successful in the bellies of a normal passenger wide-body. But then we still see the next 20 years demand for over 400 freighters. We're talking about just pure freighters, large freighters that we're talking about. These aircraft, again, have very specialized needs. When you look at something like the 350 freighter, it is a clean sheet, modern design. It's the only freighter in that category today. Why does it make sense for airlines like Starlux or Singapore Airlines or Cathay Pacific in the region to order such a freighter? Number one, it's modern and innovative. Number two, it is up to 40% less fuel for the mission than the freighters it is replacing. 40% less fuel. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's sustainability, that's cost. And the third reason is for specialized needs. A lot of the specialized needs we look at are connecting Southeast Asia directly to the US in high-value items like electronics or semiconductors or chips. For these kind of high-value items, a pure-play freighter like the A350 freighter is the perfect solution. So stay tuned for more exciting news on this.
We will. Okay, now Airbus has really raised the bar high with its sustainability initiatives, especially with the announcement of the establishment of a sustainable aviation hub here in Singapore. Southeast Asia, though, as a region, the countries are catching up when it comes to its mandates for SAF. Do you find this to be a challenge, and how do you work around it?
Sustainability is core. It is core to our purpose. And when you look at this, Jean, what's important is we go through sustainability first through our products, just like the A350 freighter. Every product we are introducing today immediately reduces about 25% less emissions than the previous generation, and up to 40%. And only 30% of the aircraft today that we have are present-day modern aircraft. 70% of the aircraft are aircraft of the past.
Yeah.
So this itself is a great story. The second thing is, you said it rightly, sustainable aviation fuel is key to our success. All our aircraft can use 50%, are certified for 50% SAF in their fuel tank. And by 2030, we are going to go to 100% SAF.
Yeah.
But we need the sustainable aviation fuel. We need the supply. Now, let me tell you, in Singapore itself, Neste has a huge facility, which gives us a lot. So Singapore has a very good story. What about the rest of the region? I'm pleased to let you know, most of the countries in ASEAN at the AAPA last year in November already started to commit. The airlines have committed to somewhere between 5 and 10% SAF usage by 2030. This is the ASEAN and Asian airlines. On top of it, we're seeing a lot of governments also looking at mandating the use of SAF, either in the airports or in the airlines. But the real part where Airbus wants to work is not just with the regulators, but with the countries to ensure we have a feedstock and we do studies to be able to create sustainable aviation fuel in the region. Okay. Look at a country like Philippines, so densely populated. There's lots of cooking fuel, cooking oil that we can recycle. Australia, it's other kind of agricultural feedstock. So each country has a unique, I would say, wealth of a resource that can be translated into a sustainable aviation fuel.
That's wonderful. And finally, Anand, you seem to have a track record of very accurate predictions after sustainability has been achieved, because it looks like Airbus is really well on its way to its 2030 goal. What do you think it will be the next target or focus?
Sustainability is a journey, Jean. So I think we look forward to achieving all our goals by 2030. But remember, 2035, we are looking forward to the launch of a hydrogen zero-E aircraft. And let's not lose track of our 2050 goals of net zero. So sustainability goals have to continuously be achieved, but the journey never stops, because as our purpose goes, we pioneer sustainable aviation for a safe and united world. So we will not stop. We will keep going towards that journey.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time, Anand. It's been a pleasure.